Rust is a game where even the smallest mistake can cost you all your loot. For example, you didn't know about this pay-to-win item and lost your base without a fight. Or you didn't know how to hide a guntrap inside your base, and now it's completely useless. Or maybe you lost your tugboat because you don't have an extra sleeping bag above the cabin. And that's only a small part of all the mistakes that almost all players make. So today, let's change that and fix some of the most common mistakes in Rust that destroy your game, using tips and tricks that even pro players don't know. I guarantee that this video will definitely blow your mind. In fact, I'm so confident, I want to challenge you. Hit that like button below, and if I can surprise you at least twice, then you can take your like back. With that said, let's get into it. If you are using a bare rug or a sleeping bag to hide the pressure plate, that really sucks. Not only is this obvious and not effective, but it's also outdated, and no one will fall for that trap. However, if you give the developers a little bit of your money and buy a container skin, you can make the most unexpected trap. As you can see, if you cover this pressure plate with wallpaper on a default foundation, nothing will happen. But if you upgrade it into a container skin, this pressure plate will disappear. A very easy trick to make a trap base. If you are using a default metal roof as a jump up, that's another mistake. As you can see, this roof has a ledge at the top that blocks your visibility of what's happening below, but your enemies can see you perfectly well. But if you upgrade this roof into a container skin, you will get a small gap at the top, through which you can not only see what's happening below, but also shoot and deal damage through it. So no door camper will be able to catch you off guard. If you find a tugboat and just put one bed or sleeping bag inside it, that's a huge mistake. As you know, you cannot throw a sleeping bag into the driver's cab or even next to it on the side or above it. It's simply impossible. So it's really easy to door camp you. But if you jump onto the railing as I show you, you can throw a sleeping bag right over the door into the cabin. And you can do the same on the other side as well. Now, even if you get door camped, you can instantly respawn on the sleeping bag and close the door. If you think that you need the best equipment to run the giant excavator, you're wrong. In fact, all you need is just a bow and 11% radiation protection. Just get under this building and use the gap in front of you. That way, you'll be able to damage the scientists, but they won't be able to damage you. I showed in more detail how to run this monument in my previous video. Be sure to check it out, there's a lot of useful information there. Once you get to the main room, you can hide in the most unexpected place to catch other players off guard. To do this, go to the staircase and jump onto the railing, then jump onto the lamp on the wall, and finally onto the beam. This is the perfect red spot, especially if you go a little deeper into this corner. If you're being raided, the worst thing you can do is just give up, because by spending just $1 and 100 metal, you can easily defend your base. As you can see, this item can block the entire doorway, so no one can get inside. But what's even cooler is that it has a lot of HP, and even a whole magazine of explosive ammo isn't enough to break it. Also, look at the range in which I can place this item, it's just crazy. You can find this thing on the Steam marketplace. It's called a two-sided hanging sign, and it costs less than $1, so be sure to buy it before it gets fixed. Another crazy feature of this item is that it doesn't block the placement of other building blocks. For example, you can attach it to the wall to make a jump up, and then just close the bunker right through it. As you can see, it doesn't affect the roof in any way. And you can do the same with the walls, just take a look at this. For less than $1, you get a truly broken pay-to-win item that will give you a huge advantage in Rust. If the entrance to your base looks like this, you definitely won't catch anyone off guard. Instead, place 2 branches on the floor, then 2 guntraps on top of them, and close this triangle with a low wall. Next, attach 2 combiners to the walls and cover this area with pipes. As you can see, now it's impossible to spot these guntraps, even when you are inside. Stop building these useless airlocks. Instead, you can make a trap airlock that will increase the protection of your base and give you a lot of free loot. Here's an example. I've got a hazmat suit with pretty good protection, but if I try to go inside, I'll just disappear in an instant. You can add this trap airlock to any 2x2 or 2x1 base. First, build the most default stability bunker with 2 high triangles and replace the single door with 2 half walls, so you can use this bunker. Next, add 2 low squares in front and cover this area with 2 single doorways, 2 walls on the sides, 1 half wall in the middle and ceilings above. Put 2 single doors in place and go outside. Build a roof on the left, so it doesn't block the doorway, and cover it with 2 walls and a ceiling above. Next, build 2 half walls on the right with a floor frame on top, cover them with 2 roofs and a wall at the back. And that's it! All that's left to do is to go inside the square and place 2 gun traps on either side as I'm showing. Now your trap airlock is ready to use. If you never have any food in your base, just use the bee farm. For example, you already built a shooting floor. Instead of just covering it with ceilings, make an entrance to the roof and place 4 or even more beehives here. All you need to do is just throw the beehive nucleus inside and wait. This is the easiest way to make sure you always have food without much effort. Never throw away anti-rot peels, because they'll make you rich. If you collect just 15 peels, you can exchange them for at least 150 scrap in the bandit camp. And if you're lucky, you can get twice as much scrap, depending on the price. We all had a jump up like this at least once, with a small loot room below and a shelf in the middle. What if I told you that you could make the cheapest bunker from the shelf for only 300 stone, if you have a brutal skin? All you need to do is build a ramp on the shelf and a triangle floor frame above this ramp. If you try to go inside, you will be blocked by the wall frame, and the floor frame above will prevent your teammate from pushing you inside. And to open this bunker, you just need to change the ramp to the default skin, and the passage will open. A very easy bunker that will increase the protection of your base. You can make an emergency exit to the roof directly through the texture, even if you don't have any doors. All you need to do is cover the top floor with ceilings, build 1 high and 1 low ramp on the side, build a wall against it, and remove 1 ceiling below. Next, attach a ladder to the wall as high as possible, and place a chair next to this ladder. Now, if you sit in this chair and press E while looking at the ladder, you will be teleported to the roof. You can easily get the most useful teas without spending a lot of time. Just spend 10 minutes farming some scrap and head out to the water well NPC. Here you need to buy 4 advanced teas, spending only 140 scrap. Craft the mixing table and make 1 pure tea from these 4 advanced teas. Now, after spending just 2 minutes of farming wood, you will get 2 rows of wood. And after 30 minutes of farming, you will forget about wood until the end of the wipe. If you are on a cargo ship, you can cover all these ladders with bear rocks, so no one can get to the top. And you can do the same with these doors on the bottom floor to completely secure yourself. You can make an unbreakable bed in Rust and respawn through the texture. Just build a circle and enclose it with metal or stone walls. Next, build a triangle roof on the right. Place your bed as close to this roof as possible and build another roof on the left to enclose this area. That's it, your unbreakable bed is ready to use. If you want to change the color of the wires, you don't need to remove them. Just select the color you want while holding down the R button. Now, if you look at the input or output and press R, you will change the color of this wire. If you want to reduce the damage, you don't have to always hold the shield. Instead, you can turn sideways while your shield rests on your side, and you still won't take full damage. Never throw a bear rock on the floor inside your base, because you will only get 25% comfort. Instead, attach it to the ceiling and stand right under its head. That way, you will instantly get 100% comfort. If you learned something new today, please hit that like button below and write in the comments which trick you like the most. For me, this pay-to-win item was the craziest one. And if you want to learn even more about Rust, then in this video, I'll show you how to run the most difficult tier 3 monuments in Rust and get the best loot possible without much effort.